Comprehensive problem from process costing. In this problem, we will prepare the journal entries and date count, and we will find the cost of ending work in process and unit transfer out cost, right? So first discuss. Lux Card Home Paint Company produce exterior latex paint which it sell in 1 gallon container. The company has two processing departments, base fab and finishing. Okay, it's true. There are two departments, base fab and finishing. White paint, which is used as a base for all the company paint, is made from raw ingredient in the base fab department. Pigments are then added to the basic white paint. The pigment paint is treated under pressure into 1 gallon container, and the container are labeled and packed for shipping in finishing department. Okay, information relating to the company operation for April. These are the information which is done in the company operation in April. Number 1 or A, issue raw material for use in production. Base fab 8,51,000, finishing department 6,29,000. Incur direct labor cost, base fab 3,30,000, finishing department 2,70,000. Okay, we have two department. Remember this point, we have two department in process costing, right? Or more than two department. Okay. So applied manufacturing overhead cost in base fab it is 6,65,000 and in finishing department is 4,05,000. Okay, transferred basic white paint from the base fab department to the finishing department. In the fourth entry, the goods or the transferred basic white paint from base fab to finishing department. Okay, white paint is transferred from base fab to finishing department. Transfer paint that had been prepared for shipping from the finishing department to finished goods. Okay, now it is going to sale. Okay, so we need to prepare the entries. First, prepare journal entry to record item A through E. Post the journal entries from 1 above to the T account. Okay, the balance in the base fab department work in process on beginning balance is 1,50,000. The balance in the finishing department work in process was 70,000. After posting entries to the T account, find the ending balance in each department work in process account. Okay, we need to calculate the ending inventory or ending work in process of each department. In the third one, determine the cost of work in process inventory and unit transfer out of the base fab in April. Okay, now we need to calculate the unit transfer out cost and ending inventory cost. The following additional information is available regarding production in the base fab department during April. What is the production information? Units gallon in process April 1st, material with respect to 100% complete, labor and overhead 60%. Okay, units started in production during April. During April कितना start हुआ? 4,20,000. Units gallon completed and transferred to the finishing department. कितना transfer हुआ? 3,70,000. Units in process at end April 30th. Material 50% complete, labor and overhead 25% complete, not 100% complete, right? Cost data work in process inventory April 1st, material labor overhead, ये beginning cost है आपके पास. Cost added during April, material labor overhead, ये आपके पास during cost जो add हुई है, right? Now we need to prepare first the entries, right? So we will first prepare the entries. So entry number 1, or we can say the A, I'm writing here the entries because it's in front of this. Work in process beginning, work in process base fab department, right? WIP finishing department. WIP finishing department, right? The amount is and credit is raw material. तो टोटल मटेरियल जो यूज हुआ है वर्क इन प्रोसेस डिपार्टमेंट ए और डिपार्टमेंट बी में बेस फैब डिपार्टमेंट और बेस फिनिशिंग में वो हम लिख लेंगे बेस फैब 8,51,000 राइट and base fab finishing 6,29,000 right, and in raw material we will add these two values right. Total material issue for production, that is for the base fab and for the finishing department, this is 8,51,000 and 6,29,000. so we have prepared entry number 1 right. Now second one is the second entry, that is B right. Incurred direct labor cost, base fab department 3,30,000 and finishing department 2,70,000. okay, in the base fab department the total labor incurred, that is 3,30,000 and in the finishing department it is 2,70,000. so what we will write, we will again record the entry work in process. I can copy these two values from there easily. Base fab department and base finishing department, the value is 3,30,000, the value is 2,70,000 and the total cost is labor incurred in the departments are 6 lakh right. so we will record this as well. so we have record the labor as well right. First we record the material, then we record the labor. okay, what about this one, it will be credit क्या होगा जल्दी से बताएं, salaries and wages payable, salaries and wages payable right, salaries and wages payable. Liability incur, okay, C is the applied manufacturing overhead cost. Base fab department 6,65,000, finishing department 4,05,000. okay, for the applied overhead we will record the entries again for WIP and for base fab and for finishing. It would become again the cost is, or the amount is 6,65,000. okay, here 4,05,000 right. okay, and what about credit, MOH, manufacturing overhead, or I can write full manufacturing overhead right, manufacturing overhead, that is again summation of these two value, first one and second one right. so it become 10,70,000. okay, now the fourth entry right, C we have prepared till C, and now D, again highlight this one. okay, my D entry, transfer basic white paint from the base department to the finishing department. कहाँ से ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, बेस डिपार्टमेंट से फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट में. इट्स मीन WIP बेस फैब तो क्रेडिट होगा राइट, और WIP बेस फैब विल बी डेबिट राइट, ये डेबिट होगा राइट. and the total amount is, ट्रांसफर की एंट्री 1850,000 18,50,000 ठीक है, इसको नोट कर लेंगे 18,50,000. ओके, क्या एंट्री है बेसिकली ये, इट्स ट्रांसफर फ्रॉम वेयर, फ्रॉम बेस फैब टू finishing department right, from base fab to finishing department, or you can read here, transfer basic white paint from base fab department to finishing. तो base fab से finishing department में आए right, base fab to finishing department right. Okay, now next one is E, entry number, transfer paint that had been prepared for shipping for the finishing department to finished goods. Okay, यहाँ क्या हुआ है, यहाँ goods वर्क इन प्रोसेस से फिनिश गुड्स में गए. कितने की, ट्रांसफर पेंट दैट हैड बीन प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर शिपिंग फॉर द फ्रॉम द फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट टू फिनिश गुड. तो कहाँ से गए हैं, फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट टू फिनिश गुड. सो फर्स्ट फिनिश गुड्स डेबिट, राइट, और फ्रॉम फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट. सो फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट finishing department credit, work in process finishing department, work in process finishing department, right, work in process finishing department credit. Okay, entries. Amount will be 32 lakh 3 32 lakh. Amount is 32 lakh. Finished goods debit, WIP, finishing department to transfer into finished goods, right? Mean from process to warehouse it is transfer. Okay, next is prepare T account, right? So now we will prepare T account. We will prepare T account. In T account, first create T, raw material, salaries and wages payable. Again T account, first we will prepare the T of raw material, right? Or I am creating T account here in the requirement B, right? Or 1 2. Okay, this is requirement 1, requirement number 1, and now we shift to requirement number 2. Okay, now T account, prepare T account. Right, छोटे छोटे हम यहाँ पे T account create करेंगे. First we will prepare the raw material T account, right? Raw material. In raw material T account, we have seen that the total raw material credited is 14,18,000, right? So we will write here 14,80,000, right? There's no beginning, right? There's no balance in beginning inventory, 0. Balance beginning is 0, right? Okay, now second one is salaries and wages payable. Salaries and wages payable. Salaries and wages payable, right? Okay, now we have salaries and wages payable. See the account, salaries and wages payable credit with 6 lakh, right? So we will credit this amount, this account with 6 lakh, right? Okay, now third one is, this is A, or you can write here just A. You will complete it in your register, you will tally it. I'm just preparing it for your convenience so you can show the amount, how it's moving from one point to another point. Okay, raw material, salaries and wages payable. Now this 30 account is manufacturing overhead. Okay, MOH, right? MOH को और क्या कहते हैं? फैक्ट्री बर्डन, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड, फैक्ट्री बर्डन एंड FOH. हम यहाँ लिख लेते हैं FOH, फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड भी लिख सकते हैं और FOH भी, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड, राइट? हम यहाँ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड लिख लेते हैं, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड. ओके, नाउ ये साइड, यहाँ क्या होता है? वेरियस एक्चुअल कॉस्ट. यहाँ पे आपकी कोई एक्चुअल कॉस्ट अभी मेंशन नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन में, ओनली applied is there, so we will write about only applied cost, right? That is in transaction C, right? Check here, manufacturing overhead is 10,70,000. Manufacturing overhead is 10,70,000. Okay, at this 10,70,000, transaction C, 10,70,000, right? 10,70,000. Okay, now next is my work in process department, that is base fab and now the second is finishing department. Okay, 2 account prepare होंगे. एक होगा WIP बेस फैब, एक होगा WIP, यहाँ बनाती हूँ इसको मैं, यहाँ पे WIP बेस फैब एंड WIP बेस फैब, WIP finishing department, right? WIP finishing department. Okay, DP mean department, right? पूरा ही लिखते हैं कि confusion ना हो, right? WIP base fab department. Clear? Okay. Now, first see in the question we have the values. Which values? The beginning balance of both the department, right? See here, the beginning balance, work in process beginning on April 1st was 1,50,000, finishing department work in process was 70. Okay, beginning balance, work in process is the asset account, so we will write the balance and the debit side. Balance base fab is 1,50,000 and balance finishing is 70,000, right? ये अभी हमने दोनों values note करनी. Okay, now we will write the values and the transaction what we have done. In the A transaction, WIP, see here, WIP base fab debit with 8,51,000, WIP base fab debit with 3,30,000, WIP base fab debit with 6,65,000. So we will write these three entries in our this account. A first, sorry, we have write the balance, and now we will write here 8,51,000. सारी वैल्यूज देख के इंसर्ट करनी है हमने बेस फैब में जो जो डेबिट क्रेडिट हुआ है, राइट? यू नो द डेबिट एंड क्रेडिट रूल्स, राइट? एंड दिस थर्ड वन इज सी, that is 6,65,000, right? Okay. $6,65,000. Okay. Now the goods transfer A, B, C, D. We will add this value, right? Okay. और क्या हुआ है? Base fab credit with 18,50,000. Okay. हम इसको भी क्रेडिट कर देंगे. In transaction D क्या हुआ है? 1 lakh, oh sorry, 18 lakh, not 1 lakh, 18,50,000 से क्रेडिट हुआ है. Okay, balance at end. Need to calculate balance at end. In the question it is mentioned that need to calculate the balance at end. How we will calculate? First we will add these value, sum of these value, sum up, and got one this value. This value is equal to this value. So my balance at end is this minus this value, right? So my balance is 1,46,000, right? This is my ending work in process. This is my ending work in process, right? So total करने इसको जो मेन अकाउंट्स हैं उनको हाईलाइट कर लें, so you can understand easily what you have done or calculated, right? Okay, now balance WIP finishing department. WIP finishing department 70,000 is debit, and again we will check A, B, C, D transaction. See here, in transaction A 6,29,000 से डेबिट हुआ है. बेस फैब फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट 270, बेस फिनिशिंग 4,05,000. ओके, बेस फिनिशिंग WIP base fab department and finishing department. Base नहीं है यहाँ पे, finishing department, right? ठीक है जी. अच्छा, अब देख लेते हैं हम सेकंड अकाउंट. इसमें क्या क्या ट्रांजैक्शन हुई है? A, B, C, D. A में 6,29,000 चेक अभी हम कर लेते हैं. 6,29,000 से डेबिट, 6,29,000 फिनिशिंग डिपार्टमेंट, 6,29,000 से डेबिट A. Now B, now C, and then D, right? A, B, C, D. 4 transactions is there. Number one, 6,29,000. Second one is my 2,70,000. How I got this value from here? WIP finishing department, right? Finishing department 2,70,000. Okay, right here 2,70,000. In the third one 4,05,000, and in the fourth one 18,50,000. You can check here, see here, finishing department, right? Finishing department 1, 2, 3, 4 time debited finishing department, right? So we have checked here 1, 2, 3, 4 with the same values. We have inserted the values here. Okay, Now calculate the ending work in process, right? Okay, WIP finishing is here with the amount of 32 lakh. It's mean we need to credit it with the amount of, with the value of 32 lakh, right? 32 lakh. Okay, now we will calculate the balance at end, right? As we have done for the base fab department, and now we will do it for the finishing department. Okay, sum these value, summation of all the values, summation of all those value is this side is equal to this side, as we have seen it in the previous number of examples, right? So what will be my ending the work in process? So in WIP finishing department, my ending work in process is 24,000, right? So we have prepared the T account: raw material, labor, salaries and wages payable, manufacturing overhead, two department, WIP base fab and WIP finishing department. And now we will prepare the finished goods T account. Okay, finished good T account. Okay, very easy. Finished good T account. There is only one remaining T account, that is finished goods, right? So we will prepare the finished goods T account. Okay, finished goods. See the entries: finished goods, finished goods. There is no finished good, no finished good, no finished good, no finished good, but debit with the 32,000. So we will record, or we will write the value of E, transaction E, that is 32 lakh, right? 345. Okay, there is no balance, so you can write 0 directly, or you can insert it, or you can do balance it, right? Okay, we have prepared the T accounts, right? Now what is the third requirement? Determine the cost of ending work in process inventory and unit transfer out of the base fab in April. The following additional information. Okay, how we will calculate this? Very simple. We have previously done so many times, right? So we will again prepare these two statements, right? The number one, first we will calculate the equivalent unit of production, right? If we want to calculate the ending work in process or unit transfer out cost, we first need to calculate the equivalent unit of production. Okay, EUP, equivalent unit of production और इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन पे हम बहुत बात कर चुके हैं कि क्या होते हैं वो यूनिट्स जो हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं, राइट? 100% होते तो कोई इशू नहीं था, बट यहाँ 100% नहीं होते, कुछ परसेंटेजेस मेंशन होती हैं, हमें उन परसेंटेजेस को कैलकुलेट करके आंसर फाइंड आउट करना होता है. बेस फैब डिपार्टमेंट, राइट? So this is my base fab department. Okay, equivalent unit of production, EUP. You can write equivalent unit of production, equivalent unit of production, right? Okay, how we will calculate it? Prepare first unit transfer out and ending work in process. Units transfer out, unit transfer out is, my unit transfer out is, कितने थे unit transfer out? See from the question, check from the question. My unit transfer out, completed and transfer out, 3,70,000. Okay, for the material, labor and overhead, 3 for the material, labor and overhead. Material, labor and for overhead, right? So we will calculate these three. Okay, unit transfer out 3,70,000 beginning. Oh sorry, transfer out, not beginning, right? Unit 3,70,000, 3,70,000, right? This is my units transfer out, right? This is my unit transfer out. Okay, now we need to calculate equivalent unit of production. We will add ending work in process inventory, ending WIP. Okay, now here we will apply the percentages, right? Material, labor and overhead, right? Factory overhead, I'm talking about factory overhead. Okay, material, labor and overhead. What's the value? We can write here above. See here, ending work in process 50% complete with respect to material, labor and overhead 25%, and total value is 80,000. So we will take 80,000 multiplied by 50%, 80,000 multiplied by 25%, 80,000 multiplied by 25%. We will take the value of these, right? Okay, now what we will do, we will write the value of material. 45 it's 40, this becomes 40,000. Directly you can write here, or you can calculate in that way, right? See here, 80,000 multiplied by 50%, right? So 40,000. What about labor? 80,000 multiplied by 80,000 multiplied by 25%, right? Okay, 80,000 multiplied by 25%, again same value, 20,000, right? Okay, add these value, sum these value. Four lakh 10,000, 3,90,000 and 3 lakh here, 3,90,000, right? So my equivalent unit of production is 4,10,000, 390 and 390,000. Okay, prepare this chart in a good way so you can easily see that and calculate these values. So these are my equivalent unit of production, right? What we have calculated? We have calculated the EUP, or you can write here EUP. EUP mean equivalent unit of production, right? Equivalent unit of production, or I'm writing here EUP. First you have calculate equivalent unit of production. Now cost per equivalent unit, very simple. How we will calculate the cost per equivalent unit? We know that, again we will write the same thing, or here we will write the cost per equivalent unit, right? Cost per equivalent unit, right? We have already done this so many times, so I'm just writing very quick, right? Cost. First we will add the cost beginning and cost added during the period. So my cost beginning and cost added during the period. Cost my beginning are material 92, 21 and 37. 92, 21 and 37. 92,000, 21,000 and the last one is 37,000. This is my beginning cost. What is my cost added during the period? So cost added during the period is mentioned 8,51,000, 3,30,000 and the next one is 6,65,000, right? So we will add these values sum together. We will add these value, this and that. So 9,43,000 and we will add 3,51,000 and 7,02,000. These are my cost of total cost, right? This is my total cost. Okay, for cost per unit we need to calculate cost per unit. As we know that if we want to calculate the formula cost per unit, so how we will calculate the total cost and total units. Here my units is equivalent unit, right? So take EUP from above. My total cost is there and my EUP is there, right? Cost is there and my EUP is there. So my per unit cost will be, cost per unit कैसे निकालेंगे? Cost per unit equal to cost per equivalent unit equal to A divided by B. Okay, what is my A and what is my B? I'm telling sale total cost is my A and EUP is my B, right? So total cost divided by total number of units. So what is my value? 2.3. Okay, for three values 0.9 and 1.8. So 2.3 for material, labor 0.9 and for overhead is 1.8. Okay, my total cost is this, so I will highlight this thing. This is my total cost and what I have calculated here, cost per equivalent unit. So my cost per equivalent unit is 2.3, 0.9 and 1.8, right? So for both thing we have calculated the equivalent unit of production, and the second thing is the cost per unit. Okay, now we need to calculate the ending inventory cost and cost of ending inventory and unit transfer out cost. So we will calculate very easily ending inventory cost and cost of ending inventory. Okay, हम सबको इंडिविजुअली लिख लेते हैं ताकि मुश्किल ना हो, राइट? रिक्वायरमेंट नंबर 3 हम परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं अभी, दोबारा देख लें। कॉस्ट ऑफ एंडिंग एंड यूनिट ट्रांसफर आउट हम जब तक नहीं मालूम कर सकते जब तक हमारे पास इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो और जब तक हमारे पास कॉस्ट पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट नहीं हो, राइट? ओके, बेस फैब डिपार्टमेंट कॉस्ट. नाउ वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट द कॉस्ट ऑफ ending, right? Cost of ending work in process inventory. Cost of ending work in process inventory, right? ओके ये क्या है? कॉस्ट सबसे पहले एंडिंग की निकाल लेते हैं. इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ईयूपी, वी नो दैट वेरी वेल. ईयूपी, राइट? माय ईयूपी इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ईयूपी. एंडिंग का चेक कर लें क्या था? मटेरियल, लेबर एंड ओवरहेड. ये रहा. ये हम एज इट इज दोबारा कैलकुलेट करेंगे, राइट? ईयूपी फॉर मटेरियल दैट इज 40,000, for 40, and for labor that is 20,000, and for overhead this is again 20,000, right? So now अब क्या करना है? ये तो निकाल लिया हमने. क्या? कॉस्ट ऑफ एंडिंग वर्क इन प्रोसेस के एंडिंग WIP के यूनिट्स, ठीक है? क्या एंडिंग WIP इक्विवेलेंट प्रोडक्शन कितनी थी? EUP कितने थे? एंडिंग WIP यूनिट, इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन भी कह सकते हैं, और एंडिंग WIP यूनिट्स भी. तो 40, 20 एंड 20,000. ओके, अब क्या करना है? अब करना है कॉस्ट ऑफ पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट से मल्टीप्लाई. कॉस्ट पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट कितना था? कॉस्ट पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट्स था आपके पास. कॉस्ट पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट्स, दैट इज कॉस्ट पर इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट इज 2.3, 0.9 and 1.8. We have calculated these three values, right? Okay, वहाँ मैंने 2.3, 0.9 and 1.8, right? Okay, कॉस्ट कैसे मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे? टोटल यूनिट्स मल्टीप्लाई बाय पर यूनिट कॉस्ट. तो हमारे पास क्या आ गई? टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ एंडिंग WIP विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मटेरियल, दैट इज 92,000. अब हम करेंगे लेबर के लिए, फिर हम करेंगे ओवरहेड्स के लिए, राइट? सो कॉस्ट ऑफ एंडिंग WIP इन्वेंट्री, cost of ending WIP inventory is 92, 18 and 36. 92, 18 and 36. Or I can say my total ending inventory cost as the summation of these three values, 1, 2 and 3. So my ending WIP cost is 1,46,000, or we have seen in our above as well, right? 1,46,000. Okay, now the last cost is part 3, that is cost of units completed and transfer out, right? Cost of units completed and transfer out. I'm again writing here, base fab department, cost of units completed and transfer out. Cost of units completed and transfer out, right? Okay, my unit transfer were, units transfer कितने हुए थे? जल्दी से बताएं. ऊपर हमने किए थे वो units transfer, that was unit completed and transferred 3,70,000. Okay, we will take 3,70,000, right? 3,70,000. This is my transfer out units, right? Now cost per equivalent unit, it is mentioned again, it is mentioned you know it very well, 2.3, 0.9 and 1.8. So my cost of transfer out, inventory is cost of units completed, cost of units completed and transfer out, completed and ट्रांसफ़र आउट, प्रॉपर लिख लिया आपने, एंड ट्रांसफ़र आउट, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब कैसे निकालेंगे इसको? सिंपल, जो वैल्यूज़ हैं आपके पास उसको पर यूनिट कॉस्ट से मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे, जो ट्रांसफ़र आउट यूनिट्स हैं उसको कॉस्ट पर यूनिट से। सो वी विल गेट 8,51,000 and for the second labor 3,33,000 and for overhead 6,66,000 and the total transfer out cost, again this is the summation of these three value, right? Material, labor and overhead total cost, so this become 18,50,000, right? So we have done this question, comprehensive problem in detail. I hope you guys, a student, understand this. If you have any query, you can ask in question class, right?